Good evening. Patrick here from Have Cheetah Will View. Welcome to Eight Questions with the Friday edition. We will be talking to our special guest, film director and editor extraordinaire, Mr. Sean Cain. He'll be here with us in about 15 minutes. So I know we're starting a little late, but that's okay. I'm sure that people will find us. They always do. Um, Yeah, so obviously the big news is, and yeah, I'm going to talk about it while I got my 15 minutes here. So Roe versus Wade was overturned today. So we're gonna probably chop that up a little bit because it is current events. Sort of shocking, actually. I really I was hoping against hope that would not what's going to happen, but uh, my gosh, it's going to affect a lot of people. It's going to affect every single one of us, actually. Just heartbreaking. Um, Heartbreaking. Feel sorry for any woman out there in America, and how do we get back to becoming a fifth nation world country? I don't know. Hey, Jaden, how are you? How are you? I will say thank you to Doug and Ava Potterfield who came in earlier and shared us out. Thank you, thank you. I went over there and said hello and shared them out because they're lovely people and fantastic guests and just terrific musicians. Um, so I was very glad for the support. I'm glad Jaden's here with us. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting tonight. We're talking to Sean. He is the gentleman that first got me going into reviewing movies. I reviewed one of his movies called Jurassic Block, Jurassic City. I always get that confused. Um, and then I have watched and reviewed Terror Birds. I've also watched and reviewed Eruption LA, which was a lot of fun. That movie was a lot of fun. Uh, he's also just got a new movie out that's out on Tubi right now that just got was edited. He did the editing for called Teardrop, which is now a Tubi original. I have not. I watched a little bit of it. I watched the first 10 minutes of it. It looks pretty good. It looks really good. So I need to go back and check that out. It is on Tubi. He has been so busy, and this is a question I've never asked any editor before, a director before, but I'm going to be asking him this question. I know he's a film director, but he's also like a very, very in demand editor as well. And I'm thinking, we already know that an editor is a director's best friend, right? It's not the director of cinematography. It's not the music composer, or even the actors. I really do believe that the filmmaker's best friend is the editor, because an extremely skilled editor will make everything look great. It'll look great. It'll cut off all the slow time. It'll make sure the pacing's quick. An editor really is the heart of any movie. The director may be a brain, but the editor is the heart for sure. Um, I don't know how he feels about that. That's just my opinion, of course, but it's how I see it when I watch a movie. I appreciate a editor who can make the story fly, and make it poignant or make it funny. Um, so we'll be talking to him about that, and he'll be here shortly. Uh, Now, I still have one movie of his that I have not watched, and I'm sure I'm going to get lit up for that, and I'm going to take it because he has every right to be grumpy about this. But I have a copy. That's the good thing. See, I don't get crushed too bad because I did get a copy of it, and that was Dead by Dawn. I did get a copy of it. So, um, actually, as far as the movies that Sean has directed, I have Dead by Dawn. watched and reviewed A Rush in L.A., Terror Birds. I have not seen Angels Apocalypse. Um, I've seen and reviewed Jurassic City, and of course, Sean's personal favorite movie that he's directed is Breath of Hate, which I have not seen that either. I should actually, some of these movies I should just check to see if they're on Tubi, because it seems like every movie that I've never heard of is showing up on Tubi, which is really fun because I've actually enjoyed that now. We are reviewing a TV series from the 80s called A Man Called Hawk, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. So I just keep on pressing different links to, like how the director's link there, you can press their name, and the Tubi will show up anything they have with that director that'll show up. Same thing with the actors, and holy cow. So there you go. And Teardrop will be one of the ones I look at. Now, as far as some of the movies that Sean has done as far as editing goes, I've seen a few of those as well. Um, let's see. He's done a lot of Christmas movies. Holy crow, he's done a lot of Christmas movies. Actually, I think he's going to probably be doing I would think probably more, even more, because now that GAC is up and running and they're making Christmas movies, I have a feeling that he'll be even busier, because since Sean does movies for Lifetime, as well as he does it for Lifetime, and now he'll probably be doing some for, I'm sure, GAC, if not and another one. He does both Christmas, and he does also those Women in Jeopardy movies. So you have a very charming Christmas Town he edited, and then he got the edit Psycho Sister-in-Law. You just gotta love Lifetime. I have watched and reviewed a movie that Sean did called My Adventures with Santa, which was very cute. That was a damn cute movie. That I was really surprised by that. Um, yeah, that was cool. That with Jamie Luner, she played an awesome over the top villainess. Really liked her. Hey Hobbs, how are you? Hey Anthony, are you ready? Are you ready for Sunday, Anthony? Anthony, are you ready for Sunday? I hope you are ready for Sunday, because we're gonna have fun. We are gonna have fun. Hell yeah. Anthony says hell yeah. Not just yes, but hell yeah. It feels strange coming up here early on Friday. That's for sure. Fridays are different. Uh, I mean, nothing of note happens on Fridays anyway, but it just feels really strange being up here on a Friday. Oh, you must be watching the hockey final. Yeah. Uh, I'm just going. I'll go. I'll tell you what's coming up here in at the on the old show. We have a busy week next week. We're still not done. Um, so the 26th of June, we have we're going to be interviewing Anthony here at 2 o'clock. And then at 6 o'clock, we'll be hosting. Wow, you're working 7 hours on Sunday at $35 an hour, unless it rains. It ain't raining. It is not raining. Holy cow! Someone's making some Dollar Tree theater money right there. Um, at 6 o'clock, we'll be here on the channel. I'm hosting the IFC Midnight Nights, but I am not running the IFC Midnight Nights. Our new night, Mary Wilson is doing that. We will be doing the show at 6 o'clock here, and then at 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock on the Midnight Society. Me and Al Licard will be here for the battle of two doctors. He is going to be covering Dr. Mordred, and I'll be talking about Doctor Strange 1985, and we're going to be talking about both those movies, which are a lot of fun. Both of those movies are a lot of fun. If you're into Mortal Kombat uh, uh, or superheroes, you'll definitely want to come out and check that out. And then on the 28th, we're going to be interviewing Katie. That's if she's on 2 feet, because she's going to have her own birthday stream on Monday, and we don't know where that's going to go. But hopefully she'll be with us enough to do a interview with us on Monday. And then on the 29th, Wednesday the 29th, at a special 9 p.m. show, we'll be interviewing Gory from Gory B Movie. Our good friend Haley will be with us, and we'll be talking all things in the Gory Hole and the Battle Royal that's coming up, that's going on her channel. I do believe that this Sunday will be the last day where she puts the final pieces together, and then I do believe on July 3rd will be the start of the battle. So it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. And so we'll be talking about that, and also celebrating Gory's mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Gory's mom. And we'll be talking about that as well. And then on the 30th of June, we end the month on a high note as we interview our good friend and the leader of the Coast to Coast crew, Cody Russell, H&S Collectibles. He'll be here with us at 8 o'clock. And then we roll over to July. That's right. July is finally here. We will be starting on July 3rd here on my channel as we welcome in film director, screenwriter Adam Marcus from the films Connected and Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. He'll be with us here at 8 o'clock for that show. And then after us at 10 o'clock, Gory B Movie will be kicking off the Battle Royale. So we'll be sliding on over there afterwards to root on old dude vampire. The first show of the month is July 5th. We'll be having actor Josh Graves will be coming in and talking to us. And then on Wednesday, the 6th of July, we have a lovely young lady from Australia, Miss Ruby Lott, will be with us with a cameo guest appearance by her mom, Danielle. So we will be talking to Ruby. She is about ready to break, I do believe, down under. She is doing acting and modeling and becoming really quite known down there. So this will be a lot of fun to talk to Ruby and see where she's at in her career. And of course, then we have the husband and wife team of Wet Denim Productions coming in on Thursday, July 7th at 8 p.m. They're a sensational young dynamic film company, a husband and wife team, and they have made one killer short that I reviewed called Why Haven't They Fixed the Cameras Yet?, which is an awesome short film. Highly recommend it. And that will be the first week of July. We have some other things going on in July. We have our very first collaboration. That's right. We are teaming up with another channel to do an event in July. We can't wait for that. That'll be our first collaboration. We are teaming up with somebody, and we hope that you guys all will come in and join us. I can't tell you what it is yet. You have to wait till Saturday. I'll be able to break the news on Sunday, but the official news is coming out on Saturday. We have other guests coming up in the month, and that includes our friend Devaney Pim will be back with us. She just came back from Thailand, and her and her husband Brandon went down there and were kicking ass and taking no names or everybody's names and making some good movies down in Thailand. And then everybody's favorite Ginger will be here with us on the 13th of July. That's Danny Inks. She is a actress, personality, all around sweetheart of a person, and she will be with us on the 13th of July. And yes, we have some tubers coming in too as well. Of course we do, right? We will be talking to our good friend Darian Glover, who does he has this channel, Magnificent Germany, where he leads different tour groups around the country, and he knows Germany's history very well too. So he'll be here with us on the 19th. Greg Harris, Fit for Expedition. He rescheduled him for the 20th, so he'll be here on the 20th at 8 p.m. And then our good friend Betty J. Gathers will be with us on the 21st. Now, if you haven't met Betty by now, you guys are slipping, because she is really, really dynamic and such a sweet person too. And the last month, I can't tell you anything about it yet because I'm still waiting. I might have a big surprise for you guys, but I'm gonna wait till it gets confirmed. Hopefully by next week, I'll be able to do that. So July is gonna be fun, and let's put our hands together for our good friend Sean Cain, who's now coming to the door. Ta-da! There he is.
Hello, how's it going?
Oh, good. Oh, well, I mean, I guess good is a relative term today, right?
Yeah.
I can talk with you. We can talk about this because you and I talk about everything.
Sure.
Yeah, that's some bullshit today about that Roe versus Wade. Let's just get that out there right now.
Well, it's not like it was some surprise. I mean,
No.
come on.
But we've heard rumblings like that before, and you just sit there and you hope that sooner than later that it's not going to happen. They're not going to take away it. And these to all the I wonder if all the truckers that were beeping and honking and causing all the bullshit, whatever. I wonder if they're going to do the same for women. Think they'll get out there and rant and rave for women's rights? Can't hear you. See, that's movie talk right there. See, I learned that too from Sean. Everything I learned about the movie business was just actually very much.
Is that better?
That's better.
Okay. God, this thing, if I bump it, gets messed up. Anyway, I'm sorry. I probably missed some of the Roe v. Wade talk.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, I wonder if those same truckers that were driving around for freedoms about the vaccines, I wonder if they're gonna bring their trucks out and march for women's rights.
No, I doubt it.
Fuck no.
Yeah, they're not.
No, of course not.
A bunch of pieces of shit.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. We're gonna okay open carry guns, but that we're not going to stop the gun violence in this country. We're going to encourage it by allowing open carry, but we're going to take women's rights away.
Yeah. I mean, my personal feeling is this country is we're going to see a lot worse. So.
Oh yeah. That's just all there is. It's just a matter of time. It really is. You feel like it's just a powder keg. It really is. It's been going like that it's been going like you knew this was going to happen. The seeds were sown when President Obama was here and was denied the right to fill the slot in the Supreme Court. That's really where it goes down to. This is not. You're right. This is not a surprise. And then I heard the shots from Clarence Thomas, who's sitting there going like, "Well, maybe we need to revisit the gay rights."
Yeah, that guy's a piece of shit. His wife's a piece of shit. They're all fucking pieces of shit. Just whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, if you don't think they're going to come for you, you're wrong, because they will be coming for us all.
Sure.
Hi, Georgianne Rose. How are you? Georgianne Rose, how are you? Hi, Monkey. How are you? Ice Lord. Greetings. Thank you for coming out on a Friday. Glad you are here. We're talking to film director and editor Sean Cain. So I get to do this. Looks like I do this every time. I always get to do this every time. I get to brag up on you because you're like one of my favorite humans ever.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Ann. How are you? Glad you are here. Wow, the raid's already started. Well, awesome. Grab a seat. Grab a seat and hang out with us. So Sean, when I first started doing movie reviews, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was clueless, and so I decided to go out there. I needed a movie to review, and I didn't know anything, so about doing that. So it's like, what do I do? What do I do? And then through Monique, we did. I went out and bought a copy of Jurassic City, and that was the first movie I ever reviewed.
Wow! I broke your cherry,
dude. You broke my cherry. But what a cast! I love this cast.
That's still my favorite cast of all my movies. Well, I shouldn't say that because overall, overall cast, that's still my favorite of all my movies. Not individual actors, but overall.
Overall. Now you notice that like lately the cheetah's been coming up and down, cruising by, on the camera, right?
Yeah.
When he found out you were coming, he was coming by, he's practicing, but every time he would stop and turn at the camera and go, because he's still mad that you killed Monique. So he's
that's such a great kill though, and the effects by Joe Lawson. It's really good. I was really happy with that.
There was a lot of great kills in that movie.
Yeah.
My still one of my favorite all times. If I had to do a top 10 kill of all the movies I've seen, I have to say the girl who saw the dinosaur as a bunny rabbit is got to be my top 10. That had me crying. I was laughing so hard at that.
I try to have fun with these movies, not take them too seriously because they're not serious movies, but always just try to have a little bit of something extra because a lot of them get to be very formulaic too and boring, and it's the same movie over and over and over. So I try to do a little something in there, hopefully set it apart. When I did my volcano movie, I had them all talking like they were on helium, and so I thought that was pretty funny too.
I'm acknowledging the raid that our good friends Doug and Ava has brought to us. They brought it's a very sweet couple from Missouri, and they play an hour's worth of music every Friday, and then they all come over.
I'm not related to Dean Cain.
Oh God, no! Thank God, no. And they come over and they sit here and they come out and hang out and support us.
Cool.
Hi Ava, hi. And she's saying hello to us, and we're gonna say hi to her and Doug. You remember the Captain and Tennille, don't you?
Yes, I do.
That's who they are. Not without it. Exactly.
In real life. What?
Oh my God! So bubbly. She's so bubbly, and he plays the straight man, and he doesn't talk.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I really it cracks me up. But they play just like Captain and Tennille. They also play really beautiful music. So
cool.
Yeah. There and hello, Desert Adventures in Arizona. Hi, Michelle. I see you up there. John. Hey, John. How are you, sir? Awesome. Thank you guys for coming. Grab a seat. We're about ready to chop this thing up. So through Sean, I got to post my very first review on my blog, and then you came over and told me how to list it on the movie database page, and that was like the biggest thing for me. It really still, as far as that goes, I still do it today.
I'm glad I could help.
Oh my gosh! Without that, I don't know if I would have, because I don't know if anybody would have seen nearly half the stuff I put out.
Sure.
But that database page is everything.
Yeah.
So it's huge. I've had the pleasure of reviewing a lot of your films.
Not all of them. What?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this because I already said before in the pre-show. I said I'm already gonna get chewed up for this, but not too bad. But I still haven't reviewed Dead by Dawn yet,
Oh,
but I own it. But I own it though.
that's it's probably my most favorite movie that I've done. Like I watch all my other movies, I have a good time watching whatever, but I'm like, I should have done better here. Man, I really fucked that scene up. But I don't feel like it. I feel like I really did. I was really happy with the end results, which doesn't always happen. A lot of time when you finish the film, you have this idea of what the film is supposed to be, and then you finish it, and you're like, fuck, it's not like that at all. What did I do wrong? But sometimes it actually, just because the idea of what you had does not mean it's a bad movie. It's a different movie than what you had in mind. But that can still be a good thing. So,
Hi, Michelle. How are you? Hi, Ann. How are you? I have to say hi to everybody coming in. This is awesome.
sure,
Hi,
sure.
Chadwick. How are you? Chadwick is a film director, by the way, screenwriter, film director.
I think I've met it. Yeah, I think he
Yep.
sent me a short film. Hobbs Horror. Is that?
Yep. Hobbs is the co-host of the Midnight Hour.
Oh, okay. I think there is a haunt site called Hobbs. God, what is it? Hobbs something that was
It's,
3 hours north.
I think it's Hobbs Horror Emporium.
Hobbs Grove. This must be different Hobbs. Never mind.
I think it's called Hobbs Horror Emporium. I think it's yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna have fun with that. Yeah, I've enjoyed every movie you've done, and Dead by Dawn. I still haven't watched it yet. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know, especially since you have the utterly, completely beautiful Jimmy Bernadette.
Yes. I'm gonna tell her you didn't watch it. She's gonna be
Oh
so
my
mad.
gosh! She'll break my back. She'll break my back.
Oh, so somebody asked a question. Am I a fan of Silent Night, Deadly Night? I actually have never watched any of those. Shame on me. But obviously, I was aware of them when I came up with the title for Silent Night, Zombie Night. It was kind of I'll tell you the story really quick. I was hiking with a friend, and we were trying to think up titles. Silent Night, Zombie Night was my first real film. We were trying to think up funny titles, and I said that one out loud just as a joke, knowing about the other series. But then I stopped and I thought, maybe that's pretty good. And my friend that I was with was like, yeah, that is good. And so that's how it became Silent Night, Zombie Night.
Yeah, I'm just, I always do this. I always look at, like directors, their body of work, and I'm looking at all yours, and it's just like, honestly, I'm not saying this to be saying this, and you know me better than this too. So, but I've said this before. It's like your movies are just so much fun. That's what your movies are exactly what movie watching it's all about. To watch them and have fun. It's absolutely you can go in there, grab popcorn and a Coke, and just like hell yeah.
Well, and you can watch them all on Tubi for free. So
are they all on Tubi for free? Because I saw Terror Birds on there. I saw Terror Birds on there.
Terror Turds, yeah.
Stop with the. Why do you always talk down that movie?
Kidding.
That movie is fun. Look, he had BJ and the Bear on there.
Yeah, he was really nice.
Great.
And
great.
Leslie Easterbrook, she was amazing.
And you do a really good job at discovering young talent too. And I'm thinking that you doing editing, that's gotta. I mean, you must do a lot of dream casting in your head when you edit, because you must be a lot of talent.
Well, yeah. When I first started making movies, I had all these pages I created, pulling names from IMDb. Oh yeah, I was going to be. This is going to play this person. This is going to play this person. I was just so. Yes, I did a lot of dream casting, and it's funny. I see a lot of people that blow up. Like for instance, there's an amazing actress named Alex Esso, who now has been in a bunch of stuff. I saw her in Starry Eyes, and I've been trying to get her in a movie. Try to get her in Terror Birds, didn't work. Try to get her in Eruption LA, didn't work. And now I probably can't afford her. So
I have been following that. Because that to me that's just to answer the question too. Like, do directors ever get that do they ever get that dream cast in their head, and does it?
Well, Jurassic City, absolutely. Like my favorite actor in the world is Ray Wise. And I thought I didn't have to fight too hard, but I wanted Ray so bad. It was funny because in Jurassic City, we actually had the opportunity to get one big name or three smaller names, right? And so we were going to actually have Burt Reynolds play the Vernon Wells character.
That would have been
And
amazing.
yeah, but he wanted a little bit too much money. And so even though it would have been amazing to have Burt Reynolds in a movie, I got to have Ray Wise instead, uh, Kevin Gage, Robert Lasardo, and of course Vernon Wells. So all awesome character actors, so great. And so yeah, that was like a dream cast to have all these guys in my movie.
You know, I didn't realize till afterwards that you had the mighty Robert Lasardo in your movie. Robert
Yeah,
Lasardo is mighty,
he's great.
and
I always felt like he was going to shiv me any second, though. No, just kidding.
yeah,
He's very
yeah,
serious about maybe not so much anymore, but you see him in a lot of these low budget movies now. But when we originally hired him, he hadn't really been doing these sort of silly monster, silly horror movies. So I think he's pretty serious. In fact, there was a thing on set. One of the actors, because he had been in Nip Tuck in a lot of bigger movies, right? And I think one of the other actors, like one of the other soldiers, asked him something along the lines of like, "So what are you doing in this movie?" Sort of denigrating him being in this movie. He got really mad. Um, so
you
we're
know
lucky
what?
that actor didn't
Why
die. He didn't get shivved.
why would you ask a stupid
Yeah,
question like
I
that?
know. It's so stupid. So
It's like
stupid.
it's a job,
Hmm.
and you don't know how Robert Lasardo works. I mean, yes, I mean sometimes a movie like that, it's one of the things you notice right away is like maybe the movie isn't the best. Like I remember I watched a movie called it was Alien versus Zombies, and it's like $1,000 budgeted film, right?
Yeah,
But the actor who played the alien, nothing in that movie is remotely memorable except for him,
yeah.
and he gave it his all, and it's a really good performance in a movie that no one will ever see, much less care about. But it made such an impression on me when I watched it. And I was like, "Wow, this guy just really went balls to the wall." He really, and again, half of me is like, "Okay, well, half it's got to be him, and half it's got to be the director." So I got to give the director some credit too, because a good director will get performances out of people
Sure.
in some really unbelievably low budget movies.
And that
Um,
actor grew up to be Barack Obama, President of the United States. No, just the
yeah,
thing is too, when you cast, I like the most important thing is to cast correctly.
yes,
Especially when you're doing the lower budget movies, you got like 12 days, and I guess even less now, from what I understand. So you really don't want to be on set trying to fix people's performance. They need to just be on it. So you need to cast the right person, so they're just on it and they just do a good job.
yeah, you're right. I mean that's one thing. I mean, a lot of these movies that you've done, I mean,
Mm.
that's the first thing that really stands out more than anything else is the fact that you got some amazing casts. I mean,
I
I cast a lot of people with the same budgeted movie, the same budget that you have
yeah.
no chance in hell of getting the talent that you do.
Well, I do have an eye for actors. People who I don't know. I just see someone I know if they're good or not for the most part. And there have been instances like in Terror Birds where the producer was trying to cast some bimbo because she had a big Instagram following. That was the only reason she's fucking terrible. I was just like, I basically told him, well, I'm not doing this movie if you cast her. What's the point? There's no point in making this movie if you're just going to have shit ass people fuck up your scenes.
Right.
And that happens a lot. People cast because, and I get why, because these movies are increasingly harder and harder to discover. A lot of them slip through the cracks. So you want somebody that's going to promote, promote, promote. But that's important. But at the end of the day, like, if I'm going to work so hard on these dumb movies, then why even bother if you just know they're going to be terrible?
I mean, if you know, yeah, I mean, to me, you're right. I mean, like, you're gonna have like, okay, we're gonna give you $100,000. Okay, well, you know what? Let me see what I can do with that. And and that's what you do. You go out there and say, I'm gonna get the maximum I can get with the money I got. And
Right.
that's another thing too, is that you put every cent that you got, it goes onto the screen. It really does. I mean, you can see that. And
Well,
not every low budget movie does that. And sometimes I don't know what they hide their money for. Why
well,
why you
producers
hold,
are pocketing that money sometimes. You
yeah.
know, it's it's just a money laundering thing. It's just like paying the producers a lot of money, and let's use the $10,000 we have left to make the movie. I mean, I've seen that happen, so that's
Well,
part of it.
one of the things that we discovered since we last talked is the fact that the pay to plays in play. I mean, that's really a big crippler. I've been talking to a lot of artists, on the show, and we talk a little bit about that, and I've been totally blown away and shocked at how prevalent it is. It's like a lot of people do it, and it's not a good thing at all.
I have not really personally seen that in the lower budget arena. I think stuff like that only happens. I mean, there may be exceptions with name talent, um, but I don't think that happens so much in lower budgeted films. They just like they can't afford to even entertain that possibility. So
I've had a few actors that they get stuck in those movies,
yeah.
and yeah, they've actually had to share scenes with non-actors,
Hmm.
uh, and have to
Oh,
do
I know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about something else. You're talking about like Kickstarter shit where people
right,
pay for roles. Oh yeah,
right.
I see that happen all the time.
Yeah,
And
that's
and
horrible.
it's ridiculous. No, it used to what I thought you were talking about used to be where in bigger budget Hollywood movies with big names, like they're guaranteed their salary. So even if the movie falls apart, they still get paid. That's what I thought you meant. Okay. Yes, with Kickstarter stuff, all these people are raising money and doing that kind of crap. I have a friend that's editing this string of movies. I won't say who it is, but it's this group that keeps making movie after movie after movie, and and they go on Kickstarter all the time. And he's like, "Yeah, it's the same damn extras who fucking suck. They're on all these scenes, just stinking these scenes up, but they keep paying to be in the movies." So
Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely terrible. I just it's not. I don't like it because not only does it make your job harder as a director. I mean, here you are, you're trying to make a movie,
right.
and not only are you trying to do that, but then you got to deal with all these non actors, and you're right. The producers are sitting there going like, today you could be going over a scene with your leading man, and the next day you can come in and your lead man's been replaced by some bimbo who paid $15,000, and now he's playing the part of the mailman. And here you are, it's like,
Yeah,
what's going on?
right.
Um, so uh, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I hope that stops soon. I hope there's, I know who you're talking about too. And yeah, they're the biggest, they're probably the biggest name I know that's doing it. There's a lot of people doing it, but I mean, they're the most prevalent. I know who you're talking about. Um,
You'll have to tell me later who you think I'm talking about.
okay. What we're talking about too, I'm going to explain this in the chat here. What we're explaining is sometimes you'll see movies, just like, it's just like anything else. They can get a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or whatnot, and they try to raise money to make their movie. And one of the reasons why they have perks. It's like Patreon. Some
They
of you guys,
auction off roles, basically.
right? They have, like, if you have a Patreon, you have like different tiers, right? So if you're tier one, tier two, or three, well, they have those same things, and a lot of the times what they do is they offer parts in the movie, and so anybody can get them. If you have $3,000 and you want to be in the movie, you can pay $3,000 and go in there and be in the movie. But if you happen to go there and you want to have a speaking line or share a scene with the leading stars, you could pony up another $2,000. But in doing that, what happens is the people that have been cast, the working actors, the actors that are getting paid to do it, they get bumped. they get not necessarily removed from the movie, but they get bumped down to a smaller role with smaller money, and that sucks.
Well, the
Um,
thing is, though, a form of that has been going on for years because there used to be a lot of, I mean, we say low budget, but now bigger budgets, back then, where you get people who want to play Hollywood and they want to play producer and they put up the money for the whole movie. But then there's always stipulations like, I want to put my girlfriend in the movie, or I want to be the writer, or I want to do this or that, So that's been happening for decades at this point. You see a lot
yeah,
of 80s movies. Like friends of mine have been in action 80s movies and tell me lots of stories like that. So this is just, I guess it's more noticeable,
I
like
think I think John Peters was like the first one like that. Remember John Peters? He
John
started
Peters
out,
of Batman. Well, he's an real producer though. So
but
I'm
that's not
talking more like low budget 80s action movies.
okay. Because I know he got his start. He was just a hairdresser, but before you
Oh
know
yeah,
it,
I
he
guess he
managed to
was.
yeah, he manages to weasel his way in there, become a producer. And I'm sure a lot of it I'm sure it wasn't, well, let me be an executive producer on this movie, and I'll give you a free haircut. I'm sure it was a lot more than that.
Maybe, but again, a lot of this business is about relationships, and I'm not talking about schmoozing. It's, you know, what happens is that you tend to work with people that are of a known quantity. Like it's really difficult to make movies to begin with. So if I know you're not an idiot and you're reliable, I'll probably work with you again. So in his case, I would assume that he just became a very reliable person that knew his craft and just kept working his way up the ladder. Stuff I'm talking about is people that have no clue what they're doing. They just want to play Hollywood. And so it used to be they'd put up all the money to make the movie or part of the budget or whatever. But now it boils down to auctioning off roles on Kickstarter. So it becomes really apparent these people are paying to be in it. When before you could play Hollywood and no one would really know you're playing Hollywood, you know.
It's harder to play Hollywood now, isn't it?
Um, I, I would say it still happens, but they're just making it easier for you to only put a little bit of money and have a role or do something instead of a lot of money and get your name in the credits. I mean, they even sell credits. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
So
Yeah, $500 you be executive producer and be listed in the movie database page.
yeah,
The movie database page, they could actually stop that by not allowing that. Like, we only want official, like, Directors Guild of America, or Cinematographers of Guild, or Directors Guild or Writers Guild. I mean, there's certain criteria that you have to meet in order to be considered that.
yeah.
Uh, you know, okay, we got some
I
activity here in the chat.
I do see some questions. So,
Yeah.
if given the opportunity to tell your version of any horror franchise, which one would you choose? I do have a Dracula story that I really want to do. I'm not going to go into details because I'm surprised no one's done this part of it yet. But I do love the monsters, and so I would love to make the equivalent of the old Hammer or Universal monster movies. So yeah, it would be a Dracula script that I have that I would like to do. Now, I
I'm
don't know
glad
about somebody else. It's about the Ezra. I'm guessing Ezra Flash.
Ezra Miller.
How is
Yeah.
Hollywood learning from the situation? Yeah, right. Like they're learning anything.
No, they're not. They're
learning.
not.
Yeah, it's all the same shit. It just keeps happening
Yeah.
over and over.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's not like he just flipped his lid, yesterday. He's
Yeah,
been
this
he's
you've been
been doing this for a long time.
right. I mean, this happens a lot. I mean, they had the whole guy, the West Side Story guy, Arson Englehort or whatever his name is. That wasn't he in trouble for, I don't know, like attempted rape? I mean, I forget, but it was something bad, and they just sort of buried him for all the publicity for West Side Story because they had already filmed the whole thing. So what are they going to do? And this is the same thing that's happening for Flash, where it's all filmed. They're not going to recast the fucking Flash movie. They're not going to, it's just going to cost too much money. So they're probably going to end up just burying him, and he's not going to do any publicity for the movie. They're going to ask Michael Keaton or whatever else. So what do they learn? I don't know. They're not learning anything.
No, no, they should have spotted him. They should have spotted that, during Justice League.
Bad
Because
view.
that guy's had problems for a long time. He just didn't pop up that way. It's just been building.
They should have had Grant Gustin play the Flash, not Ezra Miller.
Yes, everybody and they should have had Grant Gustin and also Stephen Amell play Green Arrow.
I mean, DC's really they just fucked their things up.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel, it's kind of amazing what Marvel has done. I mean, it's very much like how the comics used to be when I was a teenager, crossovers, this and that. And they just somehow transported that to the movies, and now everybody's trying to emulate that same thing. So it's brilliant marketing strategy. I actually really like the Marvel movies. I like to follow along, so I love it, and they're doing the same thing for Star Wars, Star Trek, everything you can think of, trying to create those universes.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like, as far as bankrupt ideas, I like the the MCU is okay, except for the Guardians of the Galaxy. No, don't. You know what?
I'm squish your head. I'm squishing your head.
Oh my God!
I mean, I like Guardians of the Galaxy. That's funny.
Because they both suck.
No.
It's like yes.
What?
Yes.
Why do you think they suck? They're funny.
They're funny in a really like funny like too many bad chilies funny. I feel my stomach feels funny.
Oh man.
No. The rest of them is, you're right. I mean, everything.
Are not Groot.
No, I'm not Groot. No. No. Though you're right though. I mean, but it's the only thing I don't like about this, and I was talking to you earlier about, it's getting harder to play Hollywood in the sense that it's hard for any movie outside of Disney, or maybe Warner Brothers, a little bit of Universal, whatnot. It is absolutely nearly impossible now for any studio other than those 3 or 4 to get anything on the big screen.
Well, yeah, the way we've been watching movies has radically changed, unfortunately. I missed like a bunch of movies I really wanted to see, like Licorice Pizza and Last Night in Soho in the theater. But there used to be a whole slew of $20 to $30 million movies that you find in the theaters, and now those are on the streaming services instead. But again, like the flip side is, rather than just getting a 2-hour movie, we're getting 8-hour movies. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. For instance, I'm watching the new season of Stranger Things, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is just going on and on and on. They could like cut 2 episodes out of this. But other times it helps tell the story better. It gets into more detail, stuff you would never see before. It's just a different way to consume entertainment.
Yeah, they have like a formula down. It's definitely they're very formulaic, but it works because they have the money for it and whatnot. But at the same time, it's just pretty sad though that like, okay, let's say you come out with Dead by Dawn, right?
Yeah.
So here's your studio. Okay, we made this good movie. Let's go get it let's go take it to the big screen. And all of a sudden it's like, you go to every theater, and these are the same theaters. This is when I gave up on theater going 100%. This is when I quit.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Theater going is the best.
This is how I looked at it.
Okay.
When the theaters, when the COVID hit and all the theaters shut down, right? Shut down. And everything got delayed. What kept the theaters actually in business? Who kept the business coming inside the theaters?
Popcorn making.
Very, very. It was like IFC came out with 3 really strong movies. They helped keep in fact, they were all number 1 when they came out. They're all number 1 at the box office. Not big numbers, but then you have something to talk about.
Yeah.
So you have those. Okay, great. This is amazing. Look at look what happened. Some of these people are going to get notified. They're going to get noticed. They're going to get recognized. No, what happened? Theaters started opening. The studios started coming back, and the theater said to all those little independents, they had gave them their movies to show. They gave them the Shaft, and next thing you know, we have Doctor Strange opening up in Times Square on 70 screens.
Yeah, but Doctor Strange was fucking awesome. Because Sam Raimi is great. So
That's fine, but you know what? If there's 70 screens at the theater, they can have half of them, but
sure.
give the other half so I can watch something that I want to watch. Like an X, or did I say X? I did.
That's the one I want to see too. I didn't get to see, but yeah.
Or a movie that like Flux Gourmet. Flux Gourmet looks absolutely amazing. It looks better than anything out there right now. But are we going to see it? No, we won't see it. We won't see it at all. It'll play like 4 screens in New York at the IFC at the theater, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any sort of theatrical release. Yeah, it won't play here in my town. So, and I mean, it just has just going to. Let me ask the chat. What are the movies that you see play at your theater? What's the movies that you see? Just start throwing up names of any and all movies that you've seen at the theater.
I'm going to show you a funny. So we just visited Wisconsin because my wife's family lives there. I'm gonna try to find a funny picture we took while they do their thing. So yeah, here it is. This is me and my son, and so this is what they. This was a big deal to them. I don't know if you can see it. That was a mega screen for them, right?
Okay.
So that was a small town theater. We have one mega screen. This is like cool. I'm gonna check out the mega screen. And I was like, oh, so it's just like any other screen in Los Angeles.
And what were they playing?
We went to go see Lightyear.
Oh. Okay, there's a couple of questions here. Let me go back up here.
Have I played Until Dawn? Yes, I did. It was enjoyable, but I beat it too fast.
He asked. See, Monkey's asking me, do you agree the studio needs to get Ezra a babysitter to stop doing that crap? Someone needs to tell him, no, stop that.
It's too late. It's too late. He's been dumped. He's not going to be any more. He's done. That guy's not going to be any more Flash movies. No more DC movies.
I don't know, man. I don't know if he'll make any more movies at all. I think he's going to go.
Yeah. Some indie picture might pick him up because of his name value, but he's done in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Unless he sues somebody in the court.
I don't know what
like
happened.
his own Amber Heard sues her, and then he's okay again. But I think he's done.
Yeah, he's 30 years old. I think he's like it's like he's old enough to know that he needs to be helped, and he should reach out for that. But he has not. He's continued to he's not a kid. He's not like
he's not. He's an adult. He's a grown man.
So,
he's got like kids on his little farm. Gross. I guess gross.
Yeah, he needs to grow up. Is what he needs to do. So yeah, unfortunately, he's too old for a babysitter. Let's see.
Yeah, that train has left the station for that dude. I would love to do Marvel Zombies. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Marvel Zombies is great.
I wish someone would actually do a good Guardians of the Galaxy, though. That's
what? I'm pushing your head.
Hey, if you could cast the Guardians of the Galaxy, who would you cast for Charlie 27, Starhawk? If you say Sylvester Stallone, that'll be it.
I have no idea. I didn't read. That wasn't one I ever read when I was reading comic books. So
but see, I did. But I did. I was one of my favorite ones.
Oh,
and they took Yondu and they said, "Oh, we're going to put him here, and we're going to put him here in this team." Excuse me, but Yondu is like in the first team. How can you just James Gunn, just go away? That just makes me cry. Let's see. Sean, you mentioned Stranger Things. Do you think they will release the seasons in a physical media box set? Yeah, let's talk a little bit about physical media. I mean, you've had a hard time getting your last film movies released on physical media, haven't you?
I really wanted to get. I didn't get a Blu-ray release. I did get a DVD release. But yeah, nobody's buying physical media anymore, except for collectors like us. So I was pleasantly surprised that they that Uncorked did release that. So that was cool. But really, the only money we've ever made so far has been from Tubi. So you should go to Tubi, support Tubi. Tubi is actually paying independent filmmakers like myself. So I'm still making money on Silent Night, Zombie Night, and Dead by Dawn. Not so much on Breath of Hate because I guess nobody likes that movie. But this is my latest acquisition. You can see Once Upon a Time in China. Criterion. I love Criterion. They're like the best.
Me too. Yeah. I got Antichrist during the last Barnes and Noble sale.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's Lars Van Trier.
I don't like him. I don't know. He's such a pretentious fuck. I'm not into those pretentious guys. Like Gaspar Noé is like my least favorite director of all time. I'm just like to punch that guy in the face.
Yeah. See, I would have had it. I would have had, and I actually got a copy of Climax. Right? Have you seen that movie?
No, I'm not watching
that movie. That movie is a car crash. It is a car crash of the worst order. That movie is so weird and so twisted and bonkers. The first half of the movie is brilliant. I'll give him that. The first half of that movie is brilliant. I loved it, but then it gets super weird. And the last
such a pretentious fuck. I can't stand that guy.
Oh my gosh!
I'm really of the school of Howard Hawks. You're invisible when you make the movie. The movie's not about you. It's not about all the cool things you can do or all the gross things you can throw at the audience. You just make a movie. You're invisible. It's about a story.
I wanted to go back and read this to you because it's important. Hobbs says, Sean, it's good to see you. We missed you. I'll be in and out today in the stream. You remember seeing him at the midnight hour, so that was good. That's where he's mentioning that.
Did I miss that one? Where's that?
I've scrolled up a little bit. He says, Sean, thank you. It's good to see you again. We had you in the midnight hour, and it's always a pleasure to see you. I was just saying I will just be in and out of the chat. He works at night.
Oh, okay.
So he's here listening.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, I missed that one. Yeah, that was fun to do.
That was a fun show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see.
Alpha Flight. I did actually read Alpha Flight when I was a teenager. I still have all my copies. I've got Alpha Flight #1. Maybe it's worth some money at this point. That's always. I was gonna be like, yeah, when I get to be 40, 45, I'm gonna retire on all that money I'm gonna make on these comic books that I buy when I'm 15. But that didn't happen. But Alpha Flight would be cool. I really did like that one.
I really hope that they do make it. I have a feeling they are. I mean, hell, if they can make a street level hero like Moon Knight and do it really well.
Oh, dude, Moon Knight sucked ass. That was such a shit show. God, I couldn't stand that fucking show. That was like my least favorite Marvel show. So bad. Like, there's this guy, and now it's this guy, and now this guy, and all these guys. Like, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, it was worse than the first season of Iron Fist.
Yes. Iron Fist was whatever. Moon Knight was
like,
this is
that first season of Iron Fist, boy, that was just like, oh.
I mean, yeah, he wasn't very good. He was so. But Moon Knight, like, what the fuck was going on? You know, finally by season or episode 5, it's like, okay, this is cool. And then we bring the guy back, the wimpy guy. I don't know. I didn't read Moon Knight as a kid, so I don't know anything about Moon Knight. But I do know it's bad storytelling.
Actually, Moon Knight was my second favorite Marvel character. My first is Stingray, then the Moon Knight, and then Jack of Hearts.
As a character. Okay, I was gonna say it as the TV shows.
No,
who's my favorite director? That's a good question. Howard Hawks.
Let's do something. Let me ask you this question because when I was thinking about this and I was looking at your James Whale. That's a good one. Yeah. Yep. Sean Cain. Sean Cain is one of my favorite directors. So let me ask you this, because you've been doing a hell of a lot of editing.
Yeah.
You know, and it came to me, it's like, you know, like, hell, you are just so much. You're so busy now. You're so much now. Is it because, Sean? Do you think things are really popping for you right now because they want because I can't think of anything better for a movie than to have a director as a editor. I
Well,
think
okay.
that's brilliant.
Well, this is the thing. I've always loved editing. Has always been my favorite aspect of movie making. And when I first started goofing off back when I was in my early 20s, back before nonlinear systems, and we basically had two VCRs making hard edits, trying to do stuff. I would do little editing vignettes. I would make my own trailers. I would do stuff, and so that's how I got into making movies, was editing. So, for a long time, I want to be a director. I want to be famous director, famous director, famous director. I got the opportunity to make a few movies. I was a little jaded at the end because you make these movies and then nobody gives a shit, really. But as soon as my son was born, I don't know, just like something switched, and I just didn't care as much. But also, most of the movies I edit are Lifetime or Hallmark movies. I don't want to direct those; they're bad. They're not interesting to me. So I just have not cared as much to direct. I just want to make that money. Give me that money. You got some money?
Oh
Put
my
it in my
God!
hand. And I'll edit your movie.
Based on the work record right now, you're making that money because, and to me,
doing
I
okay.
hope.
I'm doing
But
better.
what's really cool though to me is like, I never thought about asking this, but I want, like, because an editor is it's the heart and soul of the movie. If you don't have a good editor, I don't care who you have, like,
Oh,
as a cast.
sure.
I don't care who you have as a screenwriter. I don't care who you have as a director or anything else, or cinematographer or anything. If you don't have a good editor, you don't have a movie. You just
Well,
don't.
you're as good as your weakest link. I mean, all the it's all important,
Yeah,
But
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 editing is still the most.
but a good editor can make a shitty film a slightly better shitty film.
Or I think a good editor can elevate it.
Yeah. Well, but you can
You
say that
know,
with a good director can do the same.
because I've
Like
seen. I think a director helps with a cast. I mean, if you got a firm director on the cast, you'll get really good performances. Like you also that too. You got really good performances from all your cast. I mean,
yeah, I just picked the right
all
people.
your movies are really well acted.
Thank you.
No one phones it. No one phoned it home.
No.
I mean, someone might need to have, maybe they have the script off to the side so they can read it, but they still did their best. I know. I'm
What
not
do you
going to
mean?
tell you.
What do you
I'm
mean?
not going to tell.
I haven't had Eric Roberts or Mickey Rourke in my film. Nobody's reading cue cards.
That's not who I was talking about, but I don't want to say names because I don't want to embarrass the person. But you did tell me that story. Made me laugh.
I did.
Um,
Somebody
yeah,
was reading.
yeah, because they couldn't remember. They had a hell of a time remembering their lines.
I don't think that was one I directed. That was one I edited, right?
No, that was one you
One that I
directed.
directed.
I can tell you the name of the movie, and you know who I'm talking about.
Okay, tell me which movie?
Terror Birds.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right. Well, I mean, to be fair, because I
Yeah.
also did a movie called LA Apocalypse or something like that, and there is a great character actor named Raymond Barry.
Mm.
Loved him, and he's in it. And I think what happens though, some actors have a process where they have to spend more time on their lines to memorize them. In his case, they hired him like 5 days before we started shooting. Or I didn't shoot that one, and so if your process gets messed up, then you're done. So
Right.
but yeah, I do remember now.
That's still a cute story. Let's see. Let's see. Michelle's still in the background. Hi, thank you, Michelle. Let's see. Let's see. John's mentioning Sean. Do you think Marvel will do Alpha Flight? We did that one. Monkey says he's got a great idea for a horror film, Muppet Dracula. I think they already did that with the Count on Sesame Street, right? Didn't they make him? Yeah. Isn't he on? Yeah, the Count.
Favorite horror movie is Bride of Frankenstein. I guess what did Dean? I'm not Dean. I'm Sean, but I think they're talking to me. I think this Marvel has been really great so far. It's been interesting. I've liked it. So.
See, and George Ann mentions, Sean,
I did do The Last House. Yeah,
Mm,
I did do that.
yep.
But
And
you know,
let's see. Then we got another one. Sean, would a movie about crazy killer luchadors that eat Mexican pizza
maybe.
work?
I mean,
Dude,
hey,
you know
you could
what? You
take
know what?
anything and make it interesting.
You know what? You know what? Why wouldn't it work? Hell, if they made a damn movie called Attack of the Killer Donuts, why can't we have crazy ass luchadors with Mexican pizzas?
Or Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I still got to review.
Classic.
They gave me a copy of that of Killer Donuts. I still got to review it.
I've never heard of that one, so I just
I
know Killer Tomatoes.
that's everybody's favorite movie in our community is Killer Donuts. Uh, uh, yeah. So that's really one of the questions I really was because I sitting there watching it. I'm watching all these movies, and then I'm just
Except for
thinking,
Dead by Dawn. But anyway,
as
yeah.
as an editor, I mean, that's the reason why I'm going like, there's not very many directors that are editors.
There's
There's
not.
there's editors and there's directors, but they're not combined.
They
So
should
you
be. Every director should have to edit a movie because they would
I,
be a lot better at their craft.
yeah.
For me, because I can see things, I can see I can just see scenes, and so when I do direct, I just get in, I know what I need, and I'm just like bang, 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 and we're out. Not like, well, maybe we'll go over here and we'll shoot this, and then we'll maybe go over here. You just gotta kind of like know what's gonna cut together. You need to get the connective tissue to make everything work. So if you don't know that, you are probably not a very good director, or you need a really good DP, and you need to listen to that DP.
Uh, what's some of the movies you've been working? I mean, how does an editor get picked to do a movie? I mean, is it the same process as director casting? I mean, how does that work? How do you
Yeah,
how do you,
yeah. Well, for me, it's funny. I get calls out of the blue from people I don't know. Like I just did this big Hallmark movie. They're actually doing a mahogany brand, right? So I got a call out of the blue, and I don't know where the heck they got my name. I'm real glad because I made a bunch of money off that movie. But I get calls out of the blue, and I don't know if people are just looking on IMDb, but everybody starts out somewhere. Like I was making lower budget horror movies, and then I got to make sci-fi movies, and then I went on to Lifetime. So obviously, I have a pretty big body of work, but also this the thing where it becomes super important. I was talking about this earlier, where if you're reliable and you're not an asshole, you've probably like 75% better than most people working in the business. Movies are hard enough to make that when you are making a movie, you want someone who's going to be reliable. You don't want to have to take a chance. Like, is this person going to screw everything up? Because, money's on the line, man. No screwing up. So I feel like as an editor, I've proved myself like I'm gonna get done.
oh,
I'm gonna get
hell
it
yeah.
done in a timely manner. I'm gonna do a good job. I'm gonna get you what you need, get your deliverables, get everything else. I'm not gonna be a jerk about it. So I tend to work with the same people over and over, and then I get calls out of the blue, and then I work on those movies. So, it hasn't been so much as a director because I haven't done like a bigger movie since I don't know. It's been a while, been a few years. The last big one I did was for Mar Vista, but then Mar Vista, like everybody got fired over there. They have all new assholes over there now. So nobody's calling me as a director. That's fine. I don't care. I don't want to make Lifetime movies. I don't want to direct Hallmark movies. I'm fine to edit them because I make my own hours. I can sit in my underwear if I want, and I'm probably making the same amount of money as the person who's directing that movie. Well, he's got 10,000 people like up his ass or her ass. What's this? What do we do? What do we do? And then at
You
the
know
end of
what?
the day, they all hate on the
Before
director.
what's funny is that before I'd actually probably sit there and say, it's a well-oiled machine, but you know what? You're
It's
probably
not.
more close. No, no, you're right.
It's
No,
not.
it isn't anymore. It's
It's a fucked
uh
up machine every time. Seems like.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now have you got to work with GAC yet?
GAC. Who's GAC?
I think it's called Great American Country. But they came on the former president of Hallmark, Bill Abbott. He left, went over to GAC, and has turned them into the new Hallmark. And
No,
they
I
went
haven't.
out
I
there.
haven't. I haven't heard of them. I don't know.
Wow, yeah, they're doing everything.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I saw the movies you were editing. I didn't know if those were all Lifetime or Hallmark, but it
Well,
sounds like they're
the last two have been Crown Media, Hallmark movies, straight up for this Mahogany brand. There's a number of entities that will make movies for whatever channel, for Lifetime, for Hallmark. And sometimes when I do a movie, I don't know where it's going to end up. It may end up on Lifetime, it may end up on OAN, it may end up on Hallmark. I mean, I don't know. I just do it and show it out the door. Okay, here you go. I'm out. And then change the titles, they change stuff, and who knows what's going to happen to it.
Let's see. Monkey's asked a couple of questions. He says, Hallmark movies. Yes, I love Hallmark movies. In fact, I'm watching them right now. Did you get to work with the Full House Big Sisters? Did you get to work with Candace Bure?
No, I haven't done anything. I did actually work with the guy. I don't really watch Full House. I think it's Fuller House with the accent, like not one of the main, but the other girl's husband. He's the only guy that's got the accent. I did a movie called Dashing December with him. He's really good. He was great. I also got to work with Andy McDowell in that movie. That was awesome.
Oh, Andy McDowell's amazing.
How much studio interference do you get in your films? Okay, so that's a good question. A lot of the stuff I've done has been entities that will create content for a channel. But I did do the two films from Mar Vista, Terror Birds and Eruption LA. The thing that does happen sometimes, especially on Eruption LA, is you'll get these executives that work for the company. One in particular, and I don't care if you know this, I fucking hate this dude. He's a fucking asshole. He tried to get me fired. And then he deliberately went behind our back and had someone else write a script, even though I had finished the script for a Volcano movie. And then he fucked me because he's like, don't touch any of the FX stuff. But of course, there were huge chunks of huge chunks of description in the script for 5-second shots. So at the end of the day, we came in short, and it's because of this fucking asshole. And then he kept like coming in and trying to have me take stuff out of the movie that he didn't like, which is all my favorite stuff. But then I realized at one point he really wasn't paying attention, so I started putting that stuff back in the movie. He had no idea. Because the thing I found with these fucking execs, some of them are great. Like I'm working with this exec on Hallmark. She's amazing. She's so great. So it really runs the gamut. You'll have certain execs that think they know their storytellers. They're not. They fucking suck. And then some that are actually really good at telling stories. So then for the Eruption LA, I started putting that stuff back in. Didn't even notice. And so
it's easier then to fuck with directors than it is editors, isn't it?
It is. That's the thing I was going to say earlier, that one of the reasons that I have not pursued, especially for movies that I don't actually passionate about, is that at the end of the day, I've noticed that these companies will just crucify these directors, and they're so freaking mean to them. Horrible. These execs are just horrible to them. And then they'll rearrange all the scenes, and they'll do all this stupid shit. And, because at first they're like, oh, this director's so great. Oh, this is so great. And then, this director fucking sucks. I hate this director. He screwed up the film, or she screwed, no, it's mostly he screwed up the film. And then I'm the editor. I come in and they're like, oh, you saved this movie. You saved this movie. Thank you, editor. Thank you, editor. So they're so happy to have someone do what they wanted to have done that I usually don't get the brunt of their horribleness.
Because it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be. A relief to a director. Here I am. If I'm a director and I'm coming onto this Hallmark movie or whatnot, and I'm like, okay, here I am. Who's my DP? It's Jim Jones. All right. Well, who's
Jones? Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, don't drink the Kool-Aid. All right. Who's running the catering? Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay. Who's editing? Sean Cain.
Yeah.
Thank God, because now the director knows that he's in good hands. It's like all I got to do is shoot this movie and give it to him. I'm in good hands. It's one less worry I have to deal with, And I just think to myself, as the director, knowing I have someone as on your level of skill cutting my movie, that's got to take so much pressure off him or her that they
Yeah.
can concentrate on making a really fine movie, the best they can possibly can, because they don't have to worry about that, because they know that, you know, how many directors have actually come in after you and said, well, yeah, I'm going to do something different. I bet you not very many
No,
directors
they
come
don't. They
in.
don't get to do things different. That's not a thing. You're making a product for television. You know, the thing for these poor directors, like a lot of them don't get to choose the editor. They don't know what I'm gonna do unless I've worked with
Right,
them a few times. You know, because they don't. The studios or the execs or whoever, they don't want the director or the editor to be on the director's side. They want the editor to be on their side to do what they want to do. So, but quite honestly, like a lot of the people I work with, like these directors, they're director, air quotes, you know, they're just like image collectors.
yeah.
And they're just, I guess they do an okay job. But if I could do a better job than them, I'm like, whatever.
It seems like a director is more like like an average quarterback. You know, he's not
Director,
super.
I will get images for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not the super. He's not a Tom Brady. He's more of a you know,
The
like,
Brady Bunch.
yeah, he's just there to manage it. You know,
Yeah,
don't screw it up. You know,
right.
here's the movie. Here's the plot line. It's the same damn thing in every movie. Get the product placement in there and just get it to the editor.
Yeah,
Directors
I,
they don't have any imagine. They don't have the freedom to have imaginations anymore.
well,
They're being
that's part of it too. Part of it is a lack of skill. They're new, maybe they're cheap. But you know, I was fortunate. I got to work with a director named Stephen Monroe. He did the I Spit on Your Grave remakes, but I did recently get to work with him twice on two of the Tubi original horror movies. And you know, you can really see the difference. Like this guy has done, I don't know, probably directed like 50 movies at this point. And you're like, yeah, he knows what he's doing, you know, and it's nice for me, like when I get notes, because it's always directors get notes. Uh, like you listen to the notes and you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Not, oh my god, this guy's a fucking idiot. Um, but that also happens to execs too. Like I was saying, I had a really good experience on the last Hallmark movie. The execs and the producers, all their notes were, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, that's great. You know, because it's nice to have a second pair of eyes on the stuff you do. You know, sometimes you get tired during a scene or something happens, you know, and have somebody else come in and help. You know, it is a good collaboration, you know, when you're collaborating with people that know what they're doing.
Monkeys asked, it says, what story do you really feel most passionate about that you really want to tell? I answered
Yeah,
that
but
for
if
you,
I tell you my story, then it might get stolen.
but I answered it for you. I
Oh,
already know that.
that's right, Superhero Cheetah. No, I actually have a body horror movie that I really want to do. It's a short story written by my friend Wes Laurie, who I've done worked with in the past, and it's so creepy and crazy that I'm hoping that'll be my next movie. So we'll see.
Now, are you still screenwriting?
I usually don't have enough time. You know, I'm so busy
Good,
like
man.
editing stuff all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah. This is, we can't emphasize this enough. How completely bonkers you are as busy. When I'm looking at it now. I'm going like, holy shit. I mean, it went. You know, it's just like all of a sudden, it's just like someone opened the faucet, and all of a sudden it's just like, and
Yeah.
you're in demand. I mean, your work is being noticed. You don't get as much work as you're getting now unless you're doing something right.
Well,
I don't care what you say about
I was
that.
literally juggling 6 different shows at the beginning of the year. I
Definitely.
had to create this whiteboard over here because I couldn't keep track of, you know, because obviously I want to get paid. I got to make sure, like, okay, this show has paid me X amount so far, you know, just trying to like track each show, and it's crazy. So, yeah, I mean, we just went to Wisconsin, like I said earlier, for a week, and I didn't know if I was going to actually not have work. I got so lucky that I pretty much finished the Hallmark movie right before we left, and I don't start another one till like Tuesday or Wednesday of next week.
Isn't it ironic that you and I just like like 2-3 years ago, both of us were just sitting there going, man, if we just get a fucking Hallmark directing movie, it'd be you take off.
I
I
don't.
mean,
I don't want to direct. Editing is good
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
I just don't. They're nice shows for people like my mom. I just don't want to direct those. That's not interesting. I want to direct gross body horror or Dracula or monster movies or dinosaurs eating people.
Right.
That's the stuff I want to direct. I don't want to.
Sure. I mean, I get that, but
Yeah.
just if you got at least one Hallmark movie a year, you get paid for that. You get
I can do it. Edit. I'll be fine with editing a Hallmark movie. A few of those.
Now, let me ask you this. Monkey's got another question. What film did you have the best crafty at? I think that was wasn't that
That's a good question. Jurassic City, they would get giant pixie sticks for me every day and Red Bulls, which I can't drink Red Bull anymore. It destroyed my stomach. But that might be the best. The giant pixie sticks. I'll just be like, I'm ready to go.
You had a couple of really good crafts. You said didn't you say Russian LA had a pretty good crafty table too?
Yeah, yes. It's always been good. Like if you're, have a real budget, then the food's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah. But the pixie sticks are always stick in my mind the most.
Now, what sort of talent have you spotted? I mean, I know you like, Alex, but now here you are doing all this editing. Have you spotted any new talent that we should be aware of?
Any new talent? See, I haven't been looking as much. It's funny because I remember Tatiana Maslany, who's now She-Hulk. Like before, she was just in one of the Ginger Snaps movies, and I wanted to work with her so bad. I was like, oh my god! And she had like a small part in some. I can't even remember the name of this movie now. It's some dumb horror movie. But there was a time where she wasn't working at all. And I told you earlier, I was making lists of people. She'd always be on my list. Oh, I want to get her. Oh yeah, then she got Orphan Black, which is great. But before she got Orphan Black, I was like, I want to work with her. Want to work with her. Want to work with her. But recently, I don't. I haven't cast anything. Obviously Jamie is great. I was so lucky to work with Jamie on Dead by Dawn, and she was super helpful. So I'd always
not be able to get her on here again. I sent her a request.
Yeah.
And that was right before she got married. And so
she's living the married life. She's in marriage. Actually, I guess it's on IMDb, so it's okay to talk about. She directed a movie called The Desecrated Ones, which I'm editing.
Right.
It's really good. I can't say anything about it because I don't think there's any information at all. So I'm not going to give anything away. But this is her first gig as a director. And I thought she's done a pretty fantastic job. It's a pretty scary movie. It's got a lot of stuff going on. It's really freaky, really brutal. Some of the stuff is hard to do.
Speaking of movies, I was talking earlier about, they throw 70 copies of Doctor Strange on the big screen, right? Yeah. There's no room for smaller ones. I still cannot find the one movie of hers I'm looking for.
What's that?
I still cannot find it. It's Furnace. Into the Furnace. Oh, I can't find that movie for the life of me. For the life of me, I can't find that thing.
I don't know that one. Ask her. She probably has it.
It's the one where her and her husband are running a race in Africa. It's a long distance.
Yeah. The Furnace.
I cannot find that. I cannot find that son of a bitch anywhere.
I thought that was on Amazon Prime.
No, they did a home release. They did a home release, and it's like
I rented it on one of the streaming services. I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but I'm looking for a hard copies. I don't stream.
They may not have. I don't remember.
Oh,
Well, that's
because I go there once in a while. I'll go there once in a while, and I'll go there and I'll punch in a movie and start looking for it. And right now I'm looking for a reasonable copy of The Ledge. Okay, so let me go over there and pipe that in. And it's still high. It's still like $20, and it's on DVD. And I was like, okay, I would do this if it was on Blu-ray. I'd probably buy it for that price. But it's on
Sure.
Blu-ray. So
They're not selling physical media. It doesn't sell like it used to. That's why
no,
they're just not making. Like I told you, I was kind of surprised when they did a DVD for Dead by Dawn because the guy was warned me. He was like, we may not do physical media because it's just not selling, and it didn't sell very well. You know, like
well,
like when I did Jurassic City, we sold the shit out of that at Walmart.
yeah,
We sold, because usually what used to happen is they would make like 30,000 units, and if you sold 15, if you sold half of that at Walmart, you're knocking a home run. We sold like, I don't know, 19,000 or something more. So we did really well. But then you walk into Walmart and like it's not nearly what it used to be.
no,
People
they're
just
trying.
are not buying, you know. And I don't want to
And,
buy DVD. I don't buy DVDs. If it's a Blu-ray, I might buy it, but I'm not going to buy a DVD. It's just fucking low quality.
I mean, well, I'll get a DVD if I can find it for $1. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I don't want. I want high def. You know.
sure. Let's see. Monkey has another question. George Ann Rose says, "I love scary movies, but I have not seen one yet that takes me out of my seat." I can recommend one for you.
Yeah, go see Sallow 120 Days of Sodom. That'll
I,
make you want to
I,
take a shower
I,
of razor blades.
well, I was going to say, how about the Human Centipede?
It was okay. Whatever. Go see 120 Days or Sallow 120 Days of Sodom. You want to see something really gross.
And then you got the Sadness. You got Serbian film. You got.
I'm not gonna watch. I heard they fucked a baby. I'm like, fuck that movie. I'm not watching that.
Well, yeah, but that's what the same Human Centipede. But they put it's a mouth to ass. Yeah, who wants to watch that?
Yeah, but something about like fucking a toddler or whatever, baby right out of the womb. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no such thing now as before, when you started out, there are certain things that you wouldn't see in a movie. You wouldn't see the kids being killed or things like that. Now it seems pretty commonplace. Every horror movie seems to have a sexual assault on it.
Well, Serbian Film is a very political film. It's a political allegory. But again, and so is 120 Sodom 100 whatever the fuck that movie is. That's a political film. Like, what's his name? Michael N. I can't remember. My brain is so addled. But it's I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's basically it takes place at the end of World War II, and I forget the location, but it was like a northern Italy where they all hid, and the guys in charge, they were all like representing like the police and the government or something. They were all like representing different facets of the fascist government, and they just bring kids there, and they not kids, but like young adults or whatever, and just do all kinds of horrible things to them. But what's his face? God, what's his name now? Just like why can't I remember anything? Let's see. Sallow, SALO.
Yeah.
Pier Pasolini. Yeah, Pasolini. He was a very political director. I don't know if you know that he was also gay, and he was beaten to death by a prostitute, male prostitute, 2x4 in his car. But it came out like decades later that the opposing political party was the one that paid to have him murdered because they didn't like his films. He had a lot of films about religion and things like that, and they were just like, they were so offended. So that's what happened back then. Get murdered. What else were we talking about? Let me go back. Let's see.
But you don't have it even now. I mean, I think I've asked you this before when ever talking, but there's nothing now that you wouldn't tackle. There's not. If they said, there. Even if is there anything that is a script called for? Like I'll tell you a movie I just saw that shocked the shit out of me because I didn't think I ever see this. It was called Redwood Massacre Annihilation. It was a sequel to a movie called Redwood Annihilation.
Yeah.
Or Redwood Massacre, and then the second one came out, Redwood Massacre, Massacre Annihilation. Now this movie had Danielle Harris in it, and Damian Puckler, who did 5 or 6 seasons of Grimm. So it was a mainstream cast.
Sure.
And guess what they showed in that movie that I've never seen in a mainstream horror
I'm
movie?
afraid to ask what.
Necrophilia. Not even kidding me.
Well, they have the what's the necromantic? That's
yeah, but that's extreme. This is. I mean, you're talking Danielle Harris and Damian Puckler. That's their faces you see on TV, and Danielle Harris is
Sure.
she was a screen queen.
They're pushing boundaries, obviously. I've never really been into slasher stuff, especially not just like extreme murdering women type movies. I'm not into that. I wouldn't want to make that.
No. Well, I was totally blown away because I have never seen anything like that on screen before. That was the first time for me. And what really got me was the fact that it was from a named actor. It wasn't like just Danielle Harris is a name actress, and it wasn't like like Joe Smith is in there. No, it was like a mainstream actor, and I just like, of course, I'm sitting there going like, I just love to know why the hell did he agree to do that scene? Why?
It was actually Danielle Harris that did the scene, or somebody else?
No, it was her co-star, Damian Puckler. He did it. Oh my gosh, I was sitting there all
maybe he's actually into that kind of stuff. Secretly.
Oh,
finally got to live out his fantasy.
Look what happened to that other guy. The Army Hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy, he went off the rails, didn't he? So yeah, you could be right. But I was just shocked because I'm going like why would she? Because I'm just thinking Danielle Harris would, because they gotta
make money, man. They gotta make money. They're working actors.
Yeah.
You don't think they're doing these movies because they like them? They're doing it because they're getting paid. But question. So Monkey had a question. Yes, obviously I am tempted to re-edit some of my films. Like the opening to Jurassic City, I'm really disappointed with. I was thinking of something like such a better. I think the thing is for my movies is that they don't start out like it's always like a slow build up, gets crazier. But one of the things I've learned, you got to have a really like opening scene that really like sucks them in to begin with, and that's something I've had to learn as a director. So yeah, I look at stuff and I'm like, I wish I'd done that differently. But again, that's what I was speaking to earlier. A lot of time you have an idea what this film is, then it ends up being something else.
Oh, what was the name of that? What was the name of that? Solo 120 Days of
Solo 120 Days of Sodom. Let's see. I can.
Okay.
Here, let me type. Let me get my off and do my keyboard. SALO space 120 days. I usually type a lot faster than this, but my keyboard is over there, and I don't want to bump my mic thing. Otherwise, mic gets messed up again. Where's M? There it is.
I still got to see that.
I probably
should, but
other question is, since the Kanala actress, which Kanala? I'm not sure.
I think that's the girl from Miss Marvel.
Oh, her? I actually do like her. She's cute and funny, and she makes goofy faces. She's gonna be worse. I'm not gonna be able to afford her. She's gonna be working in freaking MCU forever. She's right. She's good. She's gonna be fine. You're gonna watch that movie and you're gonna maybe wish you hadn't. So another one for the guys is In the Realm of the Senses, which gets pretty crazy. Let's just say.
I've heard of that.
It's also a very political film. It's set like during wartime Japan, and the two characters.
Right.
He's like the head of the household, and she's like a maid, and they just fuck and they fuck and they fuck and they fuck. At first you're like, oh yeah, and at a certain point you're like, stop fucking, please stop, no more, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, don't you have any dialogue? No,
they had dialogue, but it was just all like so much sex. So it's surprising how you could get sick of that after a while. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, you think about some people, they put too much, as an editor. I mean, do you find yourself if you got something like that out? How would you edit? How would you edit a movie like that? Realm of the Senses. How would you? How would you? What would you take out of it? How would you frame it up?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's a classic movie. I couldn't. But I mean, it's funny because I was talking about Jamie's film earlier. Like, there's some scenes in there. I'm just like, oh, you know, you edit them and then you hopefully you never have to watch it again because it's really brutal. But Monster's favorite monster is the Bride of Frankenstein. I love the Bride or Doctor Pretorius. He's pretty funny.
Yeah, Jamie's pretty fearless, isn't she? She's not. There's not a role yet that she's met that she wouldn't play.
She's just good. She's good, and the when an actor is good, it's because they've lived their life. Like, you can't just act; you really have to like live, and then you can actually bring those experiences to film. So, there's a lot of dark stuff, and so I just want to give her a hug sometimes. Be like, it's okay.
You know what? You know what? That's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some. I
Well,
know.
if you'd watch Dead by Dawn, you would see her performance. She gets really dark sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. She's so cool looking too. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, I think the one actress I compared her to, but of course she's much prettier. Um, Jamie is the one I think about is Sarah Douglas.
I don't. I don't know who that is.
She played Ursa in Superman 2.
Oh, with a pixie haircut,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the bad guys that get thrown into the Forbidden
yeah,
Zone.
yeah.
Jamie's much prettier than her.
Definitely. Yes, that's what I said. Yeah, but she's got that same angular
Shark
face.
exorcist. No, because I'm sure it's fucking terribly shot.
What is?
Hey, he's like, I hope I get hired to edit Shark Exorcist 3. Did they actually do the Shark
Oh my
Exorcist
God!
2?
Dark Exorcist 2 is coming. Okay, yes. So I interviewed I interviewed with the actress who's who helped produce and acted in the first Dark Exorcist.
I
Then
haven't seen it.
I
I
interviewed
don't
her
think.
again for the second one, and then I interviewed another one who's doing effects on it. I interviewed her as well, Angel Bradford. Angel Bradford is
That sounds familiar. That name sounds
there's
familiar.
two actresses. If he sat there and said, Patrick, tell me two of the actresses that you've interviewed as of late that would be perfect for a Sean Cain film. Those two, Angel Bradford and Bailey Harrington, just jump off.
All
They're
right.
both super hardworking. They're both beautiful.
But if I
They're
hire them,
beautiful.
Jamie might shiv me.
Well, I think Jamie would appreciate working with them because they're not afraid to get their hands dirty.
Okay.
They're not afraid to get. No, they'll roll around on the dirt with the best of them. They're
Nice.
hardworking. Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
To me, I think to me that's what I really like when I see an actress
Yeah.
who's beautiful, who's absolutely beautiful, and you see him go like, holy shit,
You just want to see them
But
roll
then,
around in the dirt. Get
yes,
dirty.
I want to see him
Get
roll around in
dirty.
the dirt. Yeah, because
So
to
I
me it's
guess
like, wow,
I'll have to write a scene where they're fighting and they literally
right.
roll around in the dirt fighting. And then you'll be like super
Right.
happy forever, right?
That would be cool. I mean, look at Monique. Monique's not afraid to get to rumble.
That's true. She's not.
She's not afraid to rumble at all.
No.
And then what else do I think? There's a young lady named Joanna Ray. I mean, I was really surprised when I saw her get down and dirty because she looks straight out from she looks like straight out from a beauty pageant. But no, she got her. No, so she's no. I
Hold on.
appreciate. I
I got to
appreciate.
text my mom.
Okay.
She called. She tried to FaceTime while I was doing the interview.
Oh, okay. No problem.
So I just got to tell her I was doing an interview and that I love her.
My favorite, my favorite monster is Godzilla as far as
Oh, yeah.
kaiju goes. But a non-monster wise, kaiju wise, it would be Gypsy Danger from Pacific Rim. Yes, I go see that film with that cast and new editor.
I used to love, well, I still love Ultraman when I was a kid. Oh my God, that was the best.
Yeah, they're still making that show, right?
Ultraman?
Oh yes. very popular in Japan still. In fact, more popular.
They have modern Ultraman.
Yeah, more popular than Godzilla is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh.
Godzilla is more popular here than it is in Japan. Been that way for years.
Huh. I
Been that
didn't know
way
there
for
was
years.
a. I love to. This was my. I could say my idea because it'll probably never happen. If I was going to do a, I wanted to do a sequel to Jurassic City, right? Because
Okay.
at the end, you see all the dinosaurs just go crazy.
Yeah, they're taking over
And
the.
so I was going to have like a world. I guess they did that. They've done that, and then this new one that just came out. But basically, a world
They
where
stole your idea. They stole your idea.
they probably did, bastards. But a world where basically dinosaurs is taken over. I was actually going to have the first scenes. Remember in Dawn of the Dead, the remake, where you had a whole neighborhood and everybody was getting slaughtered
Yes.
by freaking bugs,
Yeah.
getting slaughtered by zombies. I was going to have that, but with dinosaurs. And then it was going to be like the whole world was overruled by dinosaurs. But then I thought it'd be great. Like Japan had figured out a way to isolate themselves, and they had built these giant robots. And so Jurassic City 2 was going to be like these giant Shogun warrior robots beating up dinosaurs and stuff like that. That would have been awesome. But I'll never get to do that one.
Yeah, yeah. That I think people will sit there and say a little too Pacific Rim. But you know what though?
No
I'm
way.
holding out. You know what I'm holding out for? I'm holding out for in the Godzilla universe. I'm holding out for a crossover between King Kong and Pacific Rim.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Pacific Rim was okay. I thought it was all right.
I don't know if Legendary will get a Godzilla back, but they don't need Godzilla. They got King Kong, and
Yeah.
Kong. They did a nice job in showcasing Kong, but I would love to see.
I thought it was fun watching them kick the shit out of each other.
Yeah, yeah. I still haven't watched Kong Skull Island. I think it's probably the worst one that I've seen so far. The first Godzilla was okay. The second one's all right. The Godzilla versus Kong, it was cool.
That was fun.
Let's see. That's yeah. Of course, if there's a giant cheetah in there, I would watch that too.
There you go.
So,
Cheetah versus Kong.
Dude, I'm still trying to get cheetahs. I'm still trying to get cheetahs in movies. I'm still working it. I told Brandon Slagos because he went down to Thailand. Thailand seems to be the hot place now. Have you noticed that?
I
Yeah.
have not. No.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed.
Everybody's going down to make movies down there.
Huh.
Ton of productions down there.
Have I played the Quarry? I don't think I played that one.
No.
I'm too busy playing freaking Elder Scrolls Online.
No, I don't play games.
What?
No, I'm not a gamer. Not unless it's football or baseball.
I don't know. Doesn't like Guardians of the Galaxy doesn't play games.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the second one. Sylvester Stallone. Let's go steal. Let's go steal some shit.
I'm gonna send you a Guardians of the Galaxy video game.
I'll send it to James Gunn with a pile of cheetah shit on it too. Here, y'all do this.
Oh man.
If you could direct a Marvel movie or a Marvel character, who would it be?
Is that somebody asked that question, or is that you?
No, that's me. Holy cow! Look at Ava. Ava plays Red Dead Redemption and State of Survival.
Yeah, I played Red Dead. Well, I was playing online.
You have to imagine Tony Tennille playing video games.
Dude, Red Dead 2 was one of the best video games ever. But what was your question again? You just asked a question. I forgot.
Yeah. If you could direct a Marvel movie.
Direct a Marvel movie. Sadly, like my favorite as a kid, my favorite comic book was Swamp Thing. So Alan Moore did a run of Swamp Thing, which was amazing. And then one of the artists, Rick Veitch, I think that's how you say it, picked it up, and he did an amazing job. And in fact, in issue 50 of Swamp Thing, they all like had a big fight in hell. God, I used to love that shit. And then Rick Veitch got like my holy grail of comic books would be Swamp Thing 88 because Rick Veitch got kicked off because he had kicked off the book. And they hired some dumbass. But they had Swamp Thing going back in time, and he was supposed to meet Jesus Christ. And DC was like, nope, not going to do that. but they've already done Swamp Thing. But I
They
always loved
they,
Swamp
they
Thing.
do have their god characters like the creator or the he who's in the center of everything or something like that.
Yeah,
You know, my favorite my top three of my DC characters would probably be like Batman, uh, but my second probably would be the Spectre. The
oh, the
Spectre,
Spectre. Yeah,
the
yeah,
Spectre is just absolutely rules for me. The
yeah.
Spectre is amazing to me.
I always
Uh,
loved the Vertigo comics with the Sandman, Swamp Thing, and all that stuff. I was really into that, but I haven't read comic books for a while.
I was pissed off that they made Swamp Thing the TV series and they canceled it even before it got to the air because
Yeah, one season.
yeah, the
I
DC they
started.
canceled the DC the streaming channel. They just converted it all to digital comics. They were going to make an all DC channel,
Yeah.
and probably
Well,
probably a good thing they'd probably quit that because I don't think anybody would watch it.
well, HBO Max has a DC hub, so all the DC stuff is available on HBO Max. But
Okay,
yeah, I started watching Swamp Thing, and then they canceled it. I'm like, well, I'm not going to get into this then if they're just going to cancel it, which is too bad. And I was really
yeah, they all
bummed.
did a nice job. Will Patton was there, bad guy. Virginia
Yeah,
Madsen
yeah,
was
right.
amazing. Derek Mears, who did the remake of the Friday the 13th,
Yeah,
2009, he played the Swamp Thing. He was good. He was real
yeah,
good.
yeah. I watched like three episodes. I liked him, but I thought,
Yeah.
all right, never mind then.
Did you see? Did you get to see? I think probably one of the best DC movies on any level. Did you see Justice League Dark Apocalypse War?
I have not. I
That
don't
is
know.
what that is
I,
what Endgame should have been.
I I just can't get into the anime for that. I don't like their anime style. I think it sucks
So
ass. Like I
it's
tried to
so, it's, it's
like
so
the
good.
Injustice. I got the Injustice comic books recently. I really enjoyed reading those, and then they had the Justice movie, and I started watching. I'm like, dude, this animation is so bad. Would I edit a spider film? Hell yeah, I would. That'd be fun, man. I love like cheesy horror or
Hmm.
cheesy action films. Those are the best.
Hey, John, Doomsday Crypt in the house.
What up?
Uh, how you doing, young man? Uh, he is a convention expert now. He's getting ready for Phantasm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's into the conventions now. Totally rocking tables. Super cool guy. Puts out some great. He gets some great stuff to show.
Cool.
Hardworking guy. John's one of the cool guys. Hey, listen, Sean. I'm gonna let you. I gotta wrap this up because we're getting so late here, and I don't want to keep you any more than I have to.
Cool.
But but
I gotta
I
eat
definitely.
dinner, man. I haven't had any dinner yet. 7:30.
Oh well, that's I don't want Liz coming over there and saying, "Let him go, let him go."
She's giving me a dirty look. No, just kidding.
Did she just
I'm
answer
almost
me?
done. We're gonna have dinner. Oh, I guess Ronan already got his dinner.
Oh, okay,
We
Liz.
got noodles.
I'm letting her go now, Liz. I promise. Here I go. Here I
She
go.
can't. She can't hear because of this, but
Oh,
he's
okay.
he's letting me. He's letting me go. Thank God. Well, thanks for having me on. I've had a good time.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
well,
hopefully I wasn't
I
too
don't know
boring.
why it took me. I don't know why it took me so long to get you up here, but now that I have, now I can come back and have you come back like again in August.
Well, we'll see. I mean, today's been good because I don't have a gig till next week,
Hmm.
so it really depends on how much work I've got. But yeah, I'll be back.
What are you working on now?
Another Hallmark movie, another Mahogany movie starts like on
What's the
Wednesday.
mahogany? What's mahogany?
Mahogany is their new African American brand.
Oh,
So I
okay.
finished one called Unthinkably Good Things, which is like their flagship first movie, which is really nice. They shot in Italy, looks beautiful. But then also I'm supposed to do maybe
Who's in it?
um well the main actress, her name is Karen Pittman, which you probably wouldn't recognize, but she has a pretty big role in the morning show, the Apple TV series, which is
Okay.
I like it. But also she was on the new Sex in the City, the whatever. I didn't watch that, but my wife did. She's like, "Oh, it's that girl." So she's got a good, she's in a couple of big shows, so she's the lead. But then
Okay.
also in August, I guess I'm going to do another film. I don't know what it is yet, but it's probably going to be a cheesy actioner because I did the same producer. I finished up one called Hunt Club with Mickey Rourke and Mina Savari and what's his face, Johnny Rico, Casper Van Dien, which not too bad, I guess.
No.
Yeah, it's
I
not
just
even
met
on IMDb yet. So
I just met the producer for. I just met the producer for the. They made a movie called The Flood. That's announced, but
yeah,
and yeah, with Casper in it.
yeah. So I'm gonna do another movie with him. It sounds like so it'll probably be a fun action movie, but I don't know what it's about or anything yet. So
Oh, okay, all
yeah,
right.
man.
Good things, good things. Thank you for coming out to
Thank
the
you.
chat. Thank you, Ava, for the raid once again. You and Doug are the best.
Thank
And
guys for
yeah,
listening.
another guy who knows who the Captain and Tennille is. That's awesome. I don't
I
feel so
do.
old
I'm
now.
that old. I'm that old. So
Yeah, but they rock though. They were so
Captain and
cool.
Tennille, man,
Yeah,
forever.
Captain and Tennille, dude,
Yeah,
rock.
dude.
They were so cute. They really were. They were underrated.
I think you're older than me, maybe. So that was kind of to me. I wasn't. That was slightly before my time. I remember as a kid. I'm
Yeah,
surprised. I feel
I
like
think
I'm always the old one.
they popped right after Donnie and Marie did.
Yeah, that was slightly before my time.
Yeah.
So as a kid, I remember.
Yeah, that's just one of the first acts I remember was Donnie Marie and then Captain and Tennille, and she was always so bubbly and she was so darling, and he's sitting there. He had chops. He could play. That guy could
Sure.
play, and he had
That's
always
right.
wore his captain hat, but he never said anything.
Oh
He
yeah,
didn't talk.
he did wear Captain
So
Anthony.
yeah,
All right, guys. Well,
all
thanks
right.
everybody.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
and I'll
Tie
talk to
a
you.
yellow ribbon round that old oak tree.
That's right. And muskrat love.
Nothing's being released right soon. I haven't done any new directing for a while, so just
Well,
editing stuff. Yeah,
soon.
soon. All right,
All right.
I'm out.
All right. Me too. All right. Peace. Yep. I'm going to talk to them for a little bit longer. Thank you guys to come out in the chat.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it so much. And we will see you Sunday at 2:00. We're interviewing Anthony Chabot. Would really, really like it if you guys came out for that interview. I would owe you guys large. Anthony's a really nice kid.
Take you out to dinner.
I would if I could, if you guys came out for this. He's
you have to fly to each of their hometowns and take them out to dinner.
I would do that. Anthony is he's a special needs young man who works very hard on his YouTube, and he works very hard, and really nice kid. And I'm he asked me for an interview, and I'm going like, you know what, because he wanted to be a part of it, and I thought, how sweet is that? And this is what I do. I just talk to people who I think is interesting, and I think Anthony is going to be very interesting to listen to.
Cool.
And so that's happening at 2:00 on Sunday. And if you guys can come by and say hi, that would be awesome. And we'll be back next Tuesday with Katie, our good friend Katie from Poppy the Popcorn. All right, we will talk at you guys soon. Thanks again for coming, and we're out. Peace.
All right. Good night.